Hello everyone, Mr. Merkage here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to add or implement an update feature into your tool or program for your customers/users to update their program if you send out a new one. Now this is good because instead of you actually sending it to them individually with a download link or personally via Skype, you can just put out a new one using the program, and it's much easier for everyone else. So I'm going to actually show you an example of what we're going to be doing, and this is what a basic thing what I've done. I've literally put a label here saying version 1 file updates, and it's checking for new updates now, and it's saying that there's a new update, so you click OK and it'll go into Dropbox and download it for you. Now it's saying it's malicious for me, and I don't actually know why it's saying it's malicious because I made it, and I definitely know it's not malicious, but that's just what we're going to do. Now it's saying there's a new update because if you look there, it says file version 1.0.0.0. Now if we go into my Dropbox folder, and we are going to be using Dropbox for this, if I go into the version file, it's 2.0.0.0. Now this is the file what it checks to get the version number and to check if there's a new update. Now if this is different from the current version, it's going to say there's a new update and that it's going to download this. Now this is the new version, so if I click this, I've put version 2 here. Not much of a change, but it's just an example to show you how it works. Now if I open this version number, change this to 1 and then click File, Save. Now if I go back into the desktop and open up my tool now, click File, Updates, you are up to date. Now it's checking that file and sees that it's the same version number and tells me it's up to date. So that's how it works. And I'm actually going to change this back to 2 really quick because this is my personal one. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to put that back. So just first of all, you want to make a new text file and in here just put 1.0.0.0, and the reason we put 3 zeros after the 1 is because that's the way Visual Studio reads version numbers. Now you want to save this to your desktop as, well, usually versions, but I've already made one, so I'm just going to call it update and save it and drag it into a Dropbox folder. Now if you don't have Dropbox, make sure you download it because that's how everything's going to work. Also, I'm quickly going to let you know that there used to be a public folder in Dropbox, and now you have to buy some sort of premium service from Dropbox for you to be able to get this public folder back. Now it was doing, I had to work around it a bit, and it does work how I've done it, so I'm just going to show you my way of downloading files without public folder. So this is what we're going to do. Now make sure your file's in there, and let's make a new Visual Studio project. New project, and make sure it's Visual Basic, and call it update tool. Now I know a lot of people watching this are going to be making Call of Duty modded tools. Now that uses C#. This you can use the code that I'm going to show and maybe convert it over. It's the same principles really. So yeah, let's just get in a label, and we're going to need a menu strip. Now if we go back to the design, drag this down, label down here, and I'll just get the label as a version number. So get the text, call it version 1.0 or something. Left loads of spaces, but it'll be alright. What did I do there? Edit, can I not undo? Just call it file, and in here update. Now you don't have to do it in a menu strip like how I am, but this is just an example. I'm just going to make this a bit smaller. It's just an example. You can actually make it do it once the program's been executed, it can check for the updates, but for the purpose of this, I'm doing it in a menu strip. So what you want to do is click File and double click on Update. Now this is where we're going to make a function called check for updates, like that, and it's going to give us an error because obviously we haven't made it yet. Now I'm going to be using the code that from the one like my version, just to save like the time of like me actually writing it all out for this video. So I will put a download link for this, and I do not take full credit for this code, but I did get it, like I was watching a video, like a simple update version video, and I sort of adapted it to my liking and get it to work, because this was slightly outdated, the one that I watched. I had to sort of do it my own way. So if there will be a download in the description for this file if you want that. So under this end sub, delete this end class because I've already copied it, and just paste that in there, and for some reason it didn't paste. Just get it again, copy, paste that in there like that. So what we're going to do is, well, first of all, basically when we click update, it's going to do check for updates. Now in this check for updates function, it's actually looking for our files in our Dropbox folder. Now it's, as you can see, it's looking for the version.txt, which is here, but now we're going to have to make our own links for our files, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. But it's basically reading from this file the version or the text in that file, which is a version number, and it's setting it to the product version, and it's using the product version right. So basically, if the newest version of the product is the current version, then it's up to date, obviously. And then else, like if it's not matching, if the numbers are not matching, then there's a new update, and it will begin to download after you press OK. So then that is where it actually loads up the download for the new file, which is tool.exe. And it's pretty much as simple as that, really. It's just reading a file. If it's different, if the numbers don't match, then it will download a new file. So what I'm going to do is quickly debug this, or build it actually, show that it worked. Go into projects, find our update tool bin, debug, and as you can see it's here. So I'm going to copy it. Actually no, did that a bit wrong because I built this with the old download link. So what we're going to do is go to update, right click, and you want to click share Dropbox link, and it's been copied to my clipboard, so copy that in here. Now it wasn't working for me because this DL equals 0. Now all I did was change it to 1 and it did work, so all you want to do is put it to 1, and now we can actually get, if we build this now, build update tool, get this new version, copy it, and if I just paste it to my desktop for that, and click update, let's check, it should be up to date. Yeah, your software is up to date. Now let's actually check if we change the update to 2, check if it's working. File update. Yeah, as you can see there's a new update, but that's going to download my old tool. So what we're going to do now is, now as we got version 1, if we just copy this, put it into our Dropbox folder, let it update quickly. We want to get the link for this now, so we'll share Dropbox link, come back into the text and paste it into the download. and make sure that you change it to 1 as well. Now if we right, so we're going to make version 2 now. So just for the purpose of this version, put that to 2, just so we know it's actually changed. And go back into right, so what you want to do now is you need to click Project, Update to all properties, and Assembly information. Now every time you want to send a new update out to your program, you need to make sure that you change the assembly version and the file version. This is what the text file reads from and checks if they're different. And so you want to just change this to 2 and this to 2. Click OK. Now if we go back to this, build update tool. Now this, in the debug folder, this is version 2. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it. You need to always replace the file. You don't want to delete this and put it back, because if you delete this and put update tool back in, it's going to give you a different download link. So then this link that we did make is no longer valid. So always make sure that you keep the file there and replace it instead. So now in here we have version 2, if we just check, yeah, and the update. So if we change this to version 2, which it already is, now we should be set to go. So we go to the desktop and open up our version 1 file update. There's a new update. Okay, it's probably going to say it's just, or actually that's saying tool exit. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do really. Just a couple things you need to remember if you're actually adding updates is this assembly information, because this is quite important for it to work. So just make sure that this is all correct before you build a new program. And every time you build a new version, just drag it into here and make sure you replace it, not delete it, and then drag it back in. And all you need to do is change it to version 2 to version 3, and it should be fine. Just one more test. If I put this to version 1, save it, and I think I have yep, version 1. Let's just give it another test. Now it should be saying up to date. Yeah, your software is up to date. So that's it. That's basically it. That's working. So I'll see you in the next video.